man told you he had Katt Williams' role. He was gonna be Money Mike.
Wait.
And Katt Williams was gonna be the Santa Claus. Now let's 3 quick points. You mean in Hollywood they cast a 5'5" black Santa Claus that weigh 145 pounds? That's your story. Your story is the Rickey Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Rickey Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Rickey Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
What's cracking? It's your homie Ice Cube. Just wanted to address a few things. You know, everybody been checking out the internet. My man Katt Williams. You know, first of all, I just want to say, you know, we shot that movie over 20 years ago, so, you know, people have different perspectives, and it's been a long time. I also want to say, you know, every comedian that I've worked with, every comedian that I've put in a movie, I only put them in the movie because I thought they was funny. I thought they was perfect for the part. I tried to put them in a position to win. That's what it's all about, you know. I don't, you know, I look at from, you know, Chris Tucker and Bernie Mac and Mike Epps, Katt Williams, you know, Rickey Smiley, Michael Blackson, Cedric, Kevin Hart. You know, all these guys I know are funny as hell. You know, I didn't discover them. You know, they were doing their stand-up or doing their thing, and I knew that they were great and that they could act, and that, you know, if I have an opportunity, I was going to give them an opportunity. You know, to me, that's what it's all about. You know, as far as, you know, specific things, you know, Katt was 100 on a few things. Most of what he was saying, a couple things, you know, I just want to clarify. When we bring in a new, you know, comedian, we do have them try out for different roles. So Rickey did give Money Mike a shot. But when we saw him and, you know, we kind of saw how he moved and how he was, you know, auditioning, we decided that he would be a better, you know, Santa Claus, which was, to me, the perfect casting.
Stole the show in Friday after next.
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Why we go through this, man? We're brothers.
Katt.
I believe we related, but go ahead.
Katt Williams stole the show.
You were originally supposed to play Katt Williams' character.
Yes. And Katt Williams was supposed to play my character. And somebody said, no, we want you to play Mike.
The thieving-ass Santa Claus.
Right, and then, yeah, because Katt Williams was going to be the Santa Claus.
Right.
And then, and they switched it over.
Right.
Because when I auditioned for Mighty Mike.
Right.
You know, so when I went in there to audition, I'm at the toilet. When Katt Williams went to use the bathroom, that's the line I had to use to audition. So they switched it up. So I was like, yeah, I can do this Santa Claus role Friday, you know, but I didn't know that because I did my role like in 4 days.
Right.
They shot all my stuff in 4 days. I went back to Birmingham, came back out because they changed the ending. Did you know that?
Right. No, I didn't.
No, you know the ending, where they got the fighting or whatever. The ending was me giving out, Santa Claus giving out presents to his kids.
Right.
So the test audience didn't like the way it ended, so they changed the ending.
Well, why would he lie? I don't know why liars lie, but I can tell you this. We auditioned in Los Angeles.
Yes.
I was audition number 201. 200 black comedians auditioned for the role of Money Mike with me. You're saying all 201 of us was auditioning and you had already had the role and had already shot the role in 4 days? The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got in the bathroom, and that's what Rickey Smiley was okay with.
Based off of what Rickey Smiley just said and based off of what Ice Cube just said, Katt Williams was 100% correct. Sounds like you auditioned for that role, Rickey, as well as a bunch of other roles, and they casted you as the Santa Claus. Katt Williams auditioned and was a better fit. But what you said in that clip seems to suggest that you guys switched roles at some point.
When we saw Mike, damn, I call him Money Mike. When we saw Katt, you know, when I saw him, I just knew that he was perfect for Money Mike. And, you know, Katt, you know, said he wrote his role, which, the role was written, but he enhanced it. This is why Katt was so dope in the movie. You know, Money Mike had a small role, you know, about as big as the Santa Claus role, but when we started filming, he was giving us such magic that we kept expanding his role and giving him more to do because he was on point. You know, when we shoot these movies, you know, for one, the scripts are fire, or they wouldn't even do it. The scripts are laugh out funny. But we shoot the script, but once we get what we need from the script, we let the comedians ad-lib, riff, you know, play with the words, do their thing. You know, we give them a take where they can, or 2, 3 takes where they can go off and do what they feel. You know, sometimes it makes the movie, sometimes it don't. You know, when somebody gives you jewels, you want to try to make sure that makes the movie.
There's a lot of people that are saying that Ice Cube is not really addressing it, or he took all of this time not to say anything. No, I think Ice Cube is just choosing his words correctly. But again, if you listen closely, he is clearing up what Katt Williams said in the Club Shay interview. Katt was right, so put some damn respect on his name. Now, Rickey Smiley went on his radio station and had some words based off of all of the criticism.
Thank y'all for this opportunity, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Let's just get into this. The whole internet going crazy. Comments that Katt Williams made. Whatever. I can't speak on behalf of the other comedians, but the only thing I can speak for is myself. Katt made some comments on Shannon Sharp's show about when I was on Shannon Sharp, was telling him the story of some of the behind the scenes from Friday After Next. Let's start with that. When I went out there, let's just go back. In 2000, I was the host of BET Comic View, and in the season 2004. I also worked on this show called Live from LA. That was my first job with BET, and that's where I met Ice Cube, if I'm not mistaken. And Ice Cube was like, man, hey man, I like your work. I want to do some stuff with you. I want to put you in some movies. And Ice Cube started putting me in movies, which really helped my career. I was in All About the Benjamins, but of course, when they changed the ending of it, that part didn't make any sense. But then he put me in Friday After Next. And just for clarification, I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not the Santa Claus. And that is the honest God truth. I had no reason to go on there and to go on Shannon Sharp's show and lie about any of that. That's what I auditioned for, was Money Mike. And I guess the producers...
No, what you said is that y'all switched roles. Auditioning and switching roles is different.
A Cube and everybody saw something different. And I think that Money Mike character, Special K, was going to come off as kind of like...
just a guy who was hanging around in the strip mall who was just kind of being annoying and almost like a crackhead type of character that was
right.
Just,
so I guess when Katt Williams did it, they added the whole pimp twist to that character, which was actually a better decision and made it funnier. Because ain't no way in the hell I could have executed that role like that, and I'm glad that they made that decision and they put me in a Santa Claus role, which was actually perfect. So when I got back to L.A., they said, hey, your role has changed. You're going to be the Santa Claus, and here's the Santa Claus suit. Put it on, and here's your lines. Sat in the trailer, went over the lines, went over my stuff with Cube, and the rest is history. Had no reason. I just want to clarify that. Had no reason to lie about that. As a matter of fact, my manager at the time, Gary Abdo, who is still one of my best friends, who also helped start my career, and he's the owner of the Atlanta Comedy Theater in Atlanta. We got him on the phone. Just to clarify, Gary Abdo, good morning.
Good morning, Rickey. How are you, my friend?
Oh, I'm good, man. Just for clarification, you was my manager at the time. We went to L.A. together for the audition. Cube wanted to see us. What is your version?
Yeah, well, we're old, and that was 23 years ago. So, our memories are what our memories are. You went out, you auditioned, they wanted you to play Money Mike. That was the sides that they had sent. The sides are the portion of the script for the part they want you to play. Those were the sides they sent. That was the audition you did. They said, great, we want you to play this role. My recollection is you had to go back and read for the execs from the studio one final time. And the night before that, we got different sides, and they said, no, we want you to play this role. And we didn't understand it. We really were under the impression, well, you had the role as Money Mike, but then all of a sudden they switched it up. Now we understand why. Katt came in, blew them away. He's an incredible performer. That was probably one of the most iconic breakout parts in movie history. I mean, that
Absolutely.
was literally Katt. That was literally Katt's first movie. Friday was not Chris Tucker's first movie. Next Friday was not Mike Epps' first movie. For that to have been Katt Williams' first movie, and he exploded. I mean, that literally made him an iconic touring comedian, one of the biggest to do it in this generation. And, the rest, as they say, was history. But, yeah, absolutely without a...
So much so that he had follow-up specials. It's Pimpin', The Pimp Chronicles. I mean, he played off of that character even into being a comedian.
Doubt you were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role, and then that switched up overnight.
And I'm glad I ended up being the Santa Claus, because that role was iconic and not as funny as his. I like the pimp. I personally like the pimp better, but the Santa Claus role was just perfect for me. At the time, I was skinny and could run fast, so
and you could squeeze over that gate. So yeah, that was the.
I just wanted to clarify that, and then there was no contract ever that. In agreement with the first Sunday movie, because that was a whole different production directed by who just directed my Netflix special, David E. Talbert, about me playing Bernice Jenkins. That's something that David called me personally. David and Lynn are fans and have been fans of my work for a long time, and it was like, we want you to play Bernice Jenkins, and and here you go. And that's what happened. And I went out there and shot that in one day, me and Red Grant. And that was a lot of fun. Right. And it had nothing to do with Katt Williams' contract or whatever. So I'm, what I'm saying? Like, I respect Katt. Definitely disappointed that you have to get on the air and explain something like this. But, That's the truth, and I don't know what else to say. So there it is.
There's not much else to say. It's indisputable that Katt played that role, killed it, built an entire career out of that one role that all of us look at and go, wow, that's absolutely amazing. But it's also indisputable. You were auditioning for Money Mike. We were told you had the role. You just had to read one more time. and then that switched up.
And the crazy thing about it is we had a conversation when it came out. He said a lot of this 12 years ago, and we had a conversation because I was on 14th Street in Atlanta, right by the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was driving down the street with my granddad in the car, and I saw Katt Williams going across the street on 14th Street, and I said, Katt, what's up? Whatever. I just wanted to make sure we was good. He said, come over and have a cup of coffee with me, because he was walking over to Starbucks. And I went over and he went in there and got the coffee. We was chopping it up or whatever. Just didn't even really talk about the issue or whatever. I said, hey, man, I want you to come out and say hello to my granddad. My granddad is a fan. He came out to the truck. I'll never forget, I was in my Ford F-150, and I came out and spoke to my granddad. He hugged my granddad and wished him well. My granddad was like, keep doing what you're doing, young man. My granddad was living at the time. And it was just me and my granddaddy in the truck. And we dapped it up, and that was it. I mean, that was it. And I thought that we were good. I didn't know that we had any issues. And if there are any issues or if there's anything that I've done, not only to Katt Williams, to anybody, I apologize, and I'm not perfect. I made mistakes, but I did. That's just the honest to God truth. And I did audition for what I auditioned for, and I'm glad that the producers made that decision. And let me address all of the things with Gary. You can help me out with this because, comedy greats like Flip Wilson played Geraldine. Richard Pryor played some roles on his show. Jamie Foxx played Wanda. Martin played Shanae. I did. Bernice Jenkins, Tyler Perry did. Madea. There's a lot of comics and a lot of comedy greats that did characters for the sake of funny, for entertainment, for the sake of the laugh. And it has nothing to do with nobody's comfortable in the role. Nobody wants to put on a damn dress or comfortable in it, That has nothing to do with my manhood being lessened for trying to play a role and trying to put food on the table for my family. Because I grew.
It's a prop.
Before he gets into that, I thought it was interesting that he brought up that old story between him, Katt Williams, and his granddad. Katt Williams probably didn't say anything to you at that time because the Club Shay interview where you leverage his name and an idea that you switched roles didn't come out yet. But let's get into these comments of why all of these men wear dresses.
It's nothing more than a prop. It's nothing more than a way to get a laugh. I mean, back in Shakespeare's time, there were no females playing females' role. Every female role was played by a man. It's just part of it's part of an art form. It's part of what makes it funny. You bring the funny to it. I wish that I'm sure you remember. People don't know about this. The pilot that you shot for the Kings of Comedy TV show, Bernice Jenkins had a whole sketch with Madea.
Yeah,
People
I did a sketch with Madea, me, Earthquake, Tyler Perry, Niecy Nash. We did a thing called The Pew. It's supposed to be like The View, but it was a church-based version of The View, and it was just comedy great to see Bernice Jenkins, the character, and Madea. And I started off doing Bernice Jenkins doing prank phone calls on the Buck Wild Morning Show in Birmingham, which spinned into, hey, I think you should do a character. This would be a great character for this role. So we were all in our 30s, late 20s, doing what we had to do in order to be successful. Now that we are older, I'm comfortable in my job in radio. I'm comfortable in, the roles that I get and the things that I get to do. And I just finished a phenomenal comedy special. So the statement about Rickey Smiley is not funny. I've been sold out since 97.
That part.
Every single show I have done since 97, maybe not big arenas, but I pack up those theaters and have to add shows in comedy clubs. And between radio and all of that and raising a family, I'm comfortable with. What makes me sad, I don't like the way that made my kids feel. And that's why I'm not going to, go after him, because he has kids and family members and nieces and nephews also, and it hurts our family members and people that do love us when we say hurtful things about each other. So we want to wish Katt Williams the best or whatever. It ain't nothing but love over here just because we don't agree. Arnez J and I had beef for about 20 years, and I end up sitting next to him on a plane. And when I saw him, I couldn't do nothing but grab him and hug him. And we text each other all day on Christmas Day. It feels like we trying to make up for lost time. Two talented people that actually love each other. And Special K, Katt Williams got some comedy dates coming up. He's going to be in Birmingham. Katt Williams is coming to Huntsville. I want y'all to go out and support him. I want y'all to pack those damn theaters and show nothing but unconditional love to him and to any comic that come into our space, you know, Birmingham, Huntsville. That's like my area or whatever, where I grew up.
Although I completely think that Katt Williams was in the right in calling out the inaccuracies of the revisionist history that came out of Rickey Smiley's mouth, I do also appreciate Rickey Smiley's way of addressing the entire situation. There ain't a whole bunch of cussing and screaming and challenging the fights and all this other bullshit. Direct to the point, not wishing ill will on Katt Williams, and in fact, promoting his shows. But I will also say it is damn weird that none of these comedians that dress up like women at some point in their career can ever go back as older men and say, yeah, if I was to do this over again, I would not have done that. But I think that this speaks to the state of the culture today when you have these men that assign them dressing up like women is funny and for an audience. Why is it not funny for women to dress up like men? What Hollywood deems as funny, and what all of you guys bought into, is the men being emasculated for laughs, for jeers, for your bank account. And not everybody got to agree with you for what you had to do to put money on the table for your family. But to think that you are not up for criticism for taking the Hollyweird blue pill, you, my friend, are absolutely bugging.
He was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Rickey Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Rickey Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Katt?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.